Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Picks and Props Show here on the channel, joined by Rich Hribar and then Mr. Nez from the Badge Brothers. We're going to be hanging out for the next 2 hours or so. We're going to pick our 5 favorite games against the spread. We're going to build a bunch of DFS pick 'em entries on Underdog. We're going to have a great time. Going to make it happen, even though I currently sound like I'm coming from I sound like an underground person. So you guys got to bear with me.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
Reeps, how we doing, buddy? How's life, man? We're very close to the end. We're a month away from the National Football League playoffs.
Yeah, it's fun, man. You know, it was a pretty bummer of a start to week 15 in the fantasy playoffs, especially coming off of last week, the way last week ended, you know, with that amazing Bills-Rams game. You know, so many fantasy points were scored for gamers last week. What we have 7 guys score like 30 or more PPR points. 11 had like 25 or more PPR points. And then we open up with a game without a touchdown to start week 15. Pretty incredible. So, hey, if you had guys in that game last night, I feel for you. I definitely had some guys in the streets. I'm in one dynasty league. It's a 2 QB league, and I had Stafford in that league, so that's not looking good. I had Puka, obviously. Puka was the one guy who kind of survived. You didn't get a hammer game for him, but he caught at least one long pass.
Kittle got
he was
10.
mid. He is
10,
mid, yeah.
10,
Him
10
and Kyron.
might, 10 might cut it, honestly.
And to be fair, for what I guess you could have gotten out of Garendo and the range of outcomes of that game, not knowing how healthy
could have gotten
was,
0.
Getting 9.5 half-point PPR points, I guess, was something.
Yeah.
But Purdy was terrible. Juwan Jennings was awful. Juwan Jennings dropped like 3 passes.
Jennings will be the one that's the killer, because he would have been like, if you asked me a start sit question in Discord or anything this week, I would have been like, you start Jennings.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Under no circumstance do you not start Juwan Jennings. So that he would have been the killer.
And then Kupp didn't catch a pass. So
yeah, I mean, that
incredible
is
stuff.
What odds could I have gotten on Underdog for or wherever for under 0.05 catches?
Well, it's 20. I think 2019 was the last game he didn't have a catch.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Reeves, are we back, or are we back to having 5 picks this week?
I do have 5 picks. Are they good picks? Probably not, but I have 5.
Probably not. But I mean, hey, that's not the vibe of the show, man. The vibe
that is
of the
true.
Show, we're just here to hang out. We have a nice time. It's our Friday. It's our relaxing time.
A lot of huge road favorites this week.
A lot of huge road favorites this week. Well, you know, that's just kind of what's going on right now in general. Is there are so many bad teams in the NFL.
Yes.
There are 11 teams with 3 or fewer wins right now. So these spreads at the end of the year are just going to be absolutely massive. But
I've said I've compared it. I said this is the most NBA NFL season I can remember.
Exactly. All right, Mr. Hribar, kick us off with your 5th favorite pick against the spread.
Let's see. My number 5 is gonna be the Eagles, and it's only because of the Tomlin voodoo that scares me. But I just look at where these 2 rosters are right now, and I know that this is like the type of game the Steelers play up to, and I'm gonna regret taking this, right? Especially with the points.
You are.
But out of the 5 games, I still feel like this is the one that's just like a mismatch, especially without George Pickens in this game. I just really struggle to see how the Steelers generate any points in this game. Without Pickens on the field, they go to 30th in the NFL in success rate, and they were only middle of the pack with him anyways. Last week, they got by because, you know, Jameson Winston wasn't very good, and the Browns offense wasn't very good, and they were able to kind of string together a couple big plays. But Russell Wilson was terrible in the game. I mean, under a 60% completion rate, under 6 yards per pass attempt. They only played one wide receiver on over 52% of the snaps.
Yep.
It was Van Jefferson.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, I look at this receiving core of Van Jefferson, Mike Williams, Calvin Austin, like Scotty Miller, like Pat Freiermuth had no bump either. Like he literally had the same run out that he's had all season. And just how do they score any points in this game? Like, how do they score more than one touchdown against the hottest defense in the NFL? Over the past 9 games since their bye, the Eagles are basically top 3 in like every passing metric and every scoring metric allowed. So I don't feel great about it because I'm outside of the Tom like Magic. I do think the Steelers defense is excellent. I have questions about Jalen Hurts. But man, I just really struggle to see the Steelers score a lot of points here.
So I've got no issue, obviously, with wanting to take the Eagles spot here. I think the thing that you would have to hope is that they do actually use this as a spot to work on the passing offense. The AJ Brown squeaky wheel narrative with him saying, "Oh, what do we have to work on?" The Eagles are literally, buddy, they're dead last. They're 32 out of 32 in PROE. What's going on there?
Dude, since the
Sirianni's deal.
Well, because they're so good. The thing is that, like, so they've been beating teams, and Saquon's been so good in the second half of games. I think I saw a stat, if you remove Saquon's first half rushing yardage, he'd be 3rd in the NFL in rushing, like just on second half yards. Hurts threw the ball 7 times in the second half on Sunday, and that's directly on par since his bye. Over his past 9 games, he's averaging 7.2 pass attempts after halftime. Like, if you look at AJ Brown, he doesn't really have anything to complain about from how they're using him in context of the offense. It's just that the offense isn't throwing, like you said. He has, in his games played, 32% of the team targets. It's just that they don't throw the ball.
They never throw. Yeah. Grant Calcaterra would have been a league winner if they had chosen.
He has 15 targets in the second half since their bye.
That's so bad. I mean, that is unreal.
15. Jamar Chase had 18 targets on Monday.
Man, I actually, in a league you and I are in together, I need an AJ Brown explosion spot this week in the Scott Barrett Dynasty League. Like AJ Brown is like kind of like my core.
Are we playing each other?
No, I'm playing. We're on the opposite side of the bracket. We are.
Okay.
I'm on the other side of the bracket from you. I'm playing the Dynasty Trades HQ guys. I think you're playing Barrett. I think you're playing Barrett and TJ, I believe.
Okay.
But yes, I need AJ Brown. Yeah, rip to Evan Ingram out for the year. All right, Reeves, my number 5.
How will we replace those 7 yards of catch?
I don't know. I don't know how we ever will. All right, Reeves, are you ready for this? This might possibly be the grossest pick in the history of this show.
I'm ready for it.
I don't know if you are. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys plus 3 points on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Tamarian Overshone, who has been awesome, is out for the year, but they have Micah Parsons back. They are running the ball well. CeeDee Lamb, for whatever reason, can you come up with a reason why CeeDee Lamb is playing when he said it literally like hurts to exist with this shoulder injury that he has right now? I don't know why he's playing, but he's playing. Like Cooper Rush is basically 1 through 53, even without Dak, the Cowboys have a more talented roster. And I'm buying the Bryce resurgence a little bit, but I'm not buying he should be a 3-point favorite over any other team in the National Football League resurgence. Like basically like this, it's not really about the Cowboys. It's not like I'm like, oh, Cowboys, like let's go. I'm not reverting back to who I was as a 17-year-old when I was a Cowboys fan. It's just I just don't think the Panthers or Bryce should be 3-point favorites over any team in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like a huge problem with that. I'm just not touching this game. This game just feels like a
so
trap on all angles. The first time the Panthers have been favored in 34 games, they had the longest streak in the NFL. Now it's the Patriots at 14 games, just to give you some perspective on how wide the gap was. I mean, it's a bummer. I don't know. Like Bryson's definitely looked a lot better, but like, is anyone still excited for him as like a franchise quarterback? I still think that's a big question mark. And
so weirdly, I feel like actually they kind of are, because
I mean, they have no choice but to like kind of ride with it. Like they're not going to be in a position probably to get a QB, right? I guess they could
well,
be.
I mean, it's such
3
a
wins.
weird quarterback class, right? Where it's like,
Well,
none of these
Shorter
guys.
and Ward will go probably the first 2 quarterbacks, and then wherever I think Aller's gonna make it in the first round.
Oh my God, Drew Aller as
I'm
a
pretty
first
sure
round.
he's gonna get steam. He played really good this year.
Yeah, I'll say this, man.
He's like the prototypical guy. I think that like teams will, because like he's like how you would kind of make a quarterback.
He's tall. The ball zips out of his hand. Yeah,
I think he's gonna get in the first round, like like kind of how Bo Nix started out.
Well, no, you know what he's like? He's like Daniel Jones. He's like Daniel Jones, where it's like the stats don't look that good, because I mean Penn State never threw the ball. No, Daniel Jones isn't a good comp.
No,
There's a
Daniel
better
Jones
comp.
is wild.
There's a better comp. My brain's not. I've been taking a lot of cold medicine, so my brain's not working at 100% full
On that
speed.
lean.
Yeah, but I'll get there.
That purple.
All right, Reeves. That was my 5. What is your number 4?
My 4. This is where I'm gonna put the Lions, and it's just literally.
All right, man. We're on the opposite side of the bracket
fair.
again.
Well, this is easy. I think that the argument here is pretty easy. Well, outside of the game, before I get to it's Dan Campbell versus Sean McDermott. Like I always say, listen, putting your money in Dan Campbell's hands is there's no coach better to have it with. Like he cares about winning the game. Like we talked about last week. There was this huge thing where like the analytics crowd got kind of tricked into Dan Campbell's our king. Dan Campbell doesn't care about the math. He cares about whipping his dong out. It's like that's all he cares about. And and Sean McDermott's the opposite. I mean, his like at the end of the day, you cannot run a QB sneak. Like his game, he does this every year 1 or 2 times where it's just like, dude, do you not understand the game theory at all? Like that, like obviously the most obvious one is the Chiefs playoff game with the kickoff, but it's Dan Campbell versus Sean McDermott. Also, I believe the Lions, like the Rams last week when you took the Rams, rightfully, the Lions are built offensively in a way that attacks this Bills defense that I think gives them problems. So the Bills defense structurally, they want to play a lot of zone coverage, a lot of outside in, funnel things in the middle of the field, not give up big plays. They're dead last in the rate of 20-yard pass plays allowed, but they are getting smoked in the run game. They're just a very passive defense. And this is like the structure the offense want to play with Jared Goff. They want to use their running backs. They want to throw down around St. Brown over the middle of the field. Like structurally, I think that they give the Bills defense problems with just how they want to operate their base offense, just like the Rams did. Like the Rams structurally are a team that gives a team like the way the Bills play defense a lot of problems. And the Lions are a better version of that, I believe.
So everything you just said, 100% accurate. I don't have anything to refute it. I think you're probably right, but I think that Allen is now in the zone where he's
Allen's awesome. Yeah,
he's in the Mahomes zone where it's like, oh, I'm getting points with Josh Allen, who's way better than Jared Goff. I guess you could argue that being in a dome actually negates some of Josh Allen's physical advantages. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna run in this game. I mean, Aaron Glenn's gonna do what Aaron Glenn does. So if I already bet Josh Allen's rushing over. Maybe we'll be taking that on the card.
Maybe we will. Yeah. So I had the Bills. I had the Bills as my 3, and I had the Bills as my 3. How often have we gotten this in the NFL, Reeves? Number 1 and number 2 in EPA plus CPOE composite. Number 1 and number 4 in adjusted EPA per play. Let's see unadjusted EPA per play. Yeah, Allen and Goff. Obviously, Josh adds a ton of that stuff
through rushing.
Yeah, so it's going to be different if you do the passing. But the McDermott stuff is so fascinating because the Bills are number 1 in the NFL in the last 5 years in point differential by like a mile.
Lot.
But then when you watch him make decisions like the quarterback sneak last week, like the DeMar Hamlin fake punt and that stuff, it's like, dude, what are you doing? What is actually the deal? I can't make heads or tails of it. I mean, I think he's obviously a good coach, but I mean, you are right. Dan Campbell a much better coach. No doubt about it. It's not even close. He's the much better coach, right?
I mean, just from a terms of where you're of trying to win the game.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, maybe the Lions go for a fourth down in their own 25, and, that gives the Bills points. That could absolutely happen as well.
Yes. But basically, I'm betting on Allen over Goose.
Allen versus the golf angle.
Yeah. And
this is a better defense, too, than like last week. Like, this is night and day. I mean, the Rams are 31st. I know last night definitely showed up, but the Rams are 31st in passing points allowed per game, and they're facing a team that's number 1 in the Lions. They're getting some guys back, too, defensively this week up front. Yeah, so I mean, I know Allen's going to do his thing for sure. I mean, the Bills have scored 30 or more points in 7 straight games.
7 straight games. Do you? So last week, by the way, you were on this. You thought that Rams Bills was going to go over. Do you feel the same about this one, or do you think this one?
I think if this one has a better shot to go under, and I think the reason why is because of the Detroit running backs.
Yep. Yeah, they're
like
so
if
good,
the
man.
Bills can't stop the run here, like they have largely for the bulk of the season, like they're like Ben Johnson is willing to just give these dudes 40 touches. Like we've seen it.
Yeah,
so,
and they're certainly good enough to do so, right? Like they'll lean on you. They will lean on you hard. All right,
I like it from a DFS perspective. I've been trying to like just track who's gonna like get more ownership, but I definitely want to. I think play a Lions running back in every lineup.
They're not going to get very owned at all because there's.
I think I'm going to make a rule to play one in every lineup. I just want to see where it lies. I do prefer Gibbs a little bit, but sometimes Monty ends up coming like sometimes there's a big delta between Gibbs's ownership and Monty's, but Monty only has 2 fewer catches than Gibbs this year.
Yep.
Like they're literally night and day. They have the same number of touches, 212. Gibbs has 34 catches. Monty has 32. They each have 12 touchdowns. Like they're dead on. Like they're literally just been interchangeable. It's just that Gibbs is a little more efficient. Also Gibbs opened at 16.5. I don't know if people got it. The Bills have allowed the highest explosive run rate to running backs in the NFL. So watch this be the week that we get run down.
Imagine. All right, my 4. This is grosser. I said my 5 was gross. My 4 might be grosser, man. You might have to stop me. I'm taking the New York Jets minus 3.5 points.
Yeah, I got them too. I have them at 2, and I was gonna ask you to talk me out of them. So
it's just like they played competitively last week against the Jets. Rodgers, I think, is because it all stems from what does Aaron Rodgers want to do? Does Aaron Rodgers want to try? Does he not want to try? Is he infecting everyone? And for whatever reason, Rodgers is out there doing it right now. I mean, the Dolphins are a good team overall, and they took them to overtime last week. The rookie running backs, Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen, they both played very well last week. The offensive line looks a little bit better. The defense looks better without Sauce Gardner in there, and the Jaguars are like, now they don't have Ingram. It's like, this is one of the biggest messes. I don't even, what do you even do as the Jaguars? I don't even know, but like the Jaguars have a terrible defense. They're bottom 5 in EPA on defense. They're bottom 5 in EPA on offense. They have this idiot head coach. They're playing Mac Jones. It's like Mac Jones, theoretically, was like, oh, great. We have this great backup quarterback. Mac Jones made the playoffs. Maybe Bill Belichick will get UNC to the playoffs because Mac Jones does not look like an NFL quarterback under Mr. Peterson. Basically, I just think the Jets could just run the ball and cover. Like I think they could give the ball to Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis 28 times in this game and cover the spread in Jacksonville.
Laying points with the Jets on the road. What could go wrong?
Incredible. Yeah.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? But this Jaguars team is so bad. I mean, so going back to last year, the last 5 starts Mac Jones has made, his teams have scored 36 total points.
Christ, man.
This year, with Trevor Lawrence off the field, the Jaguars go from 5.6 yards per play with Lawrence on the field down to 4.5 yards per play with him out. In Mac Jones's 3 starts this year, he's thrown 0 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. It's and then you talk about the defense. The defense is last in yards allowed per game. I think both Jets receivers are going to be able to do what they want in this game. Like both Devontae and Devontae's actually played a little better this last month. He looked pretty rough those first couple games joining the Jets, but he's been a lot better the past month. But yeah, it's just a bet against the Jaguars more than the Jets. So that's really what it is. Like, it's kind of how we led the show. It's like we're talking about the NBA version of the NFL. Like, we're betting against the have-nots right now.
I mean, these are two extreme have-nots. Extreme.
But the Jets have good players. Like the Jets entered this year. The Jets entered this year with a roster that was capable of winning games.
Yeah, and they've shown it. They've shown it for whole games. They've shown it for halves. They've shown it for quarters.
They've led in the fourth quarter 8 times.
Yeah, they've dominated sometimes. I mean, they looked really, really good against the Dolphins last week. So it's like, as long as we are taking them,
if they don't fire Robert Saleh, how many more wins do they have?
Not that many, I don't think. I think Rodgers was right. I think they probably are just cursed. I think they're the island of the whole area of New Jersey and everything is ill-gotten, by the American by the British imperialists. So you don't know what type of curses are out there, man. You don't know. It's deeper than anything that you or I have access to. All right, we did my 3.
That was my 2.
Yeah. Okay. So what is your 3, Mr. Hribar?
My 3 is the Bengals for similar reasons.
This is my 1.
Okay. Yeah. Bengals 6-1 against the spread on the road. Did we deserve to win that one on Monday? Probably not. But the Bengals deserved it. The Bengals deserve that. The Bengals have been through the worst of blowing games. And so, hey, they were owed one. But the Titans are the worst team against the spread in the NFL. They just lost at home to the team we just talked about, the Jaguars. They're 0-6 against the spread at home. They've been outscored by 104 points their past 9 games, the worst point differential in the NFL over that span. They have the lowest success rate of passing plays on offense. It's another spot where it's just betting against this Titans team.
I mean, every game, Will Levis gives you one of the worst possible plays that a quarterback can make. And the Bengals are, I believe their playoff percentages is 9% right now. Like, obviously incredibly low, but enough that they're going out there. They are not mathematically eliminated. They're going to keep grinding, like they're not going to, this is not it's not Jake Browning season for the Bengals, and their offense is like legitimately good. I mean, maybe better than legitimately good. They're awesome on offense, right? Like,
but now that Zach Moss is out of the picture,
yeah. So the Bengals are 9th in the NFL in yards per play, and if you take the Zach Moss snaps out of there, I would bet, I don't have the ability to filter this, but I would bet that if you do it post Zach Moss, I would bet they're top 5 in yards per play.
I mean, I have the ability to do it. I am capable. I have the power.
Chase Brown is so good at football, man. Are we gonna let a Canadian be this good at football? I mean, it's kind of unbelievable.
I think we can. I mean, this offense just needs the lead back. I mean, Mixon got by. I mean, Mixon never blew the doors out, but it's like, you just give a guy full touches and a good offense. Look what happens for fantasy football, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really incredible. The value of not having a split backfield. What do you think this profiles more as a Chase game or a T Higgins game?
I mean, they're all Chase games, right? Like, it's just, they average 6 yards per play with Chase Brown on the field.
That is a lot of yards.
I mean, it would be tied for 5th in the league. They go from 9th to 5th. But if I just do Zach Moss off the field, which might be even another way, that's just 5. Yeah, just 5.9. It's probably
okay.
Yeah, so.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, basically, like, and also Burrow is what's crazy is that, I mean, look at this, man. Burrow, 6th in the NFL in EPA per play.
If they were better, Burrow would be definitely in MVP contention.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be Burrow. It'd be the MVP conversation would be.
Look at his last 4 like box score. His last 5 box scores.
Yeah. Well, here
It-
let's just filter. Let's filter by EPA per play since what? Since week 10.
His last 5 box scores are insane.
Yeah.
Like he's another guy I'm kind of watching for on DFS this week to see if people are on him because he's been the hottest fantasy quarterback.
Jordan Love #1 in EPA per play. Wow.
That's
Incredible.
false. This is like Garoppolo stuff.
Well, it's because the when you win games and you reduce the number of plays, your EPA per play goes up. That's why Garoppolo is always secretly so high is when you limit play volume, the EPA per play goes up. Yeah, so the Bengals were my #1, man. The Bengals are going to smash the Tennessee Titans. They're going to run well, they're going to pass well. The Titans were like supposed to have a good defense. They don't. Levis like kind of gave everyone false hope for a little while, and then I don't know. What do the Titans do? Are the Titans maybe the sneaky Sam Darnold team?
Maybe. Who knows, man? Who knows what the answer is? It's not Will Levis, though. We know that. And his coach hates him. His coach like has openly come out like 3 or 4 times and been like, that was really dumb.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't hate him. Maybe he just believes in honesty.
Yeah, fair enough. That's it's a great point.
It's okay. So that was my one.
That's a great point. Is that all your picks?
That's all my picks. That's all my picks. Right? Or no. I think that's right. What do you have left?
Commanders.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. That's the
well, again, it's just a bet. I mean, here are the games without Derek Carr. The Saints have lost by 24, they lost by 23, and they lost by 18. So, I mean, I don't see this team, especially indoors, being able to slow down. Well, one, they're not going to slow down the run game of Washington, and then like when the Commanders can run, that's when Jaden Daniels has been like optimal, right? Like that's when the offense is working, he's playing his best. So I think it's just going to be a pretty clean game for the Commanders to just kind of roll here.
You like it even through the keeper at 7.5. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I do, but you can always play with it. I think the play is probably to you can tease this and maybe the Lions, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can. I like that. I'm surprised neither of us got the Kansas City Chiefs -4.
I tell you what, it is very telling that the Chiefs opened only as -4 to a 3-10 team.
To a 3-10 team. Yeah.
It is very telling because there was a stretch there where Vegas was giving the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt. Like they were like -9 to the Raiders, what were they laying to the Panthers a couple weeks ago, like 14?
13.5. I think.
And like they were still getting these, and like Vegas was like, nah, man, because I think they're 0-7 against the spread. They have 7 in a row. I think they've lost against spread.
They are, yeah. You know what? No, I didn't do my #2. I didn't do my #2.
I thought maybe you were missing one.
Yes, correct. I did miss one. I've got one that I think you're gonna disagree with me on. I'm gonna do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers +3 points against the Chargers. I've got quite a bit of respect. Yeah, I assume so. So I respect Harbaugh. I respect what they're doing.
It's just a game I don't believe like in either side. I'm not even against you. It's that it's a stay away.
So here's the deal. Baker is like legitimately playing awesome football.
He's been terrible though, like the last 5 weeks.
He's not been terrible holistically, but he's been turning the ball over.
Yeah,
is what he is.
Like
what
bad interceptions
doing.
Too.
Like bad interceptions, which was kind of his issue in Cleveland. But I think that the Chargers are getting a little bit over. I think they're overrated in like the ELO stuff because I'm doing these playoff best ball drafts now, where you have to like game stuff out for the rest of the season and then for the playoffs, and you look a lot at power rankings and ELO and all that crap. And I think they're just getting really overrated for a team that is not interested in scoring points. They're just really not like their touchdowns this year have either been these very long, intense drives with lots of handoffs, busted coverages to Quentin Johnston, or the first 2 weeks of the season, those long J.K. Dobbins runs. They don't have Will Dissly now, so now they're down. They're down their
Imagine even saying that sentence.
Imagine even saying that. Imagine even saying that. So Dissly and Hurst are out. McConkey may or may not play. I mean, based on the evidence of what we saw against the Chiefs, I mean, doesn't it feel like McConkey is like a huge loss for them? Like gigantic. So the Buccaneers on the opposite side, they're getting healthy. They've got Evans back, who's now like
except for on defense, they're down they're down more starters.
But that doesn't even matter.
Probably not
against the Chargers. Against the Chargers, what does it matter? But
the Chargers are just going to try to make this game 17-14 and try to win the game.
Well, so yeah, I mean, look, do I wish it was 3.5? I do wish it was 3.5 a little bit, but I view this game as closer to like a pick, basically, or like I think these two teams are very similar overall skill wise. And let's just say I don't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Los Angeles Chargers have a huge home field advantage. I'm pretty and these are basically playoff games for the Buccaneers. Like the Buccaneers got to pick up 3 more wins basically to win the division, I think. Assuming that the Falcons can do anything. But I want to back my boy. I want to back my boy Baker. And I want to short this version of the Chargers that doesn't try and score points. When they were trying to score points earlier in the year, remember that month stretch where they were positive PROE? It was awesome. We're like, oh man, Lad. And then Lad got hurt. And like, what did he do? Bang his knee or something? And then he just went to 0 immediately.
But it was always kind of a false lead because they just were having such a hard time running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, losing Dobbins sucks for them because they're very stubborn about handing the ball to Gus Edwards when Vidal is probably the better option. But Vidal, I don't know. Why don't they give Vidal the ball more? The Gus Edwards stuff, man. Gus Edwards and Hassan Haskins are not carrying you to the Super Bowl. How did this team not draft Braylon Allen? How did this team not draft Braylon Allen? Come on, man.
Good question.
It's a really good question that I think deserves.
Remember, everyone thought they were going to take Corum.
It was like plus 130 on the DraftKings Sportsbook or something, like unbelievable. All right, Reeves, what are you thinking for DFS this week? What you got any big leans? Detroit. What's the Hribar stances?
Yeah, DFS. I mean, I'm definitely not going to fade that game. It's like what? It's like I think it has 8 points over the next closest game.
Yeah,
I think it's 54. Very I think the next closest is 46.5. So you can't fade it. And it's not hard to stack around either. There's enough cheaper pieces, especially if we get another week. If you're on FanDuel, if you get another week of Zach Charbonnet, like that definitely plays. Everyone's going to have Chuba Hubbard in their lineup, almost guaranteed. Chase Brown is still underpriced for his opportunities been. Chase Brown in the last 5 games has 116 out of 120 backfield touches.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he should be closer to 8K, maybe 8.3 on DraftKings and closer to 9K on FanDuel in terms of pricing. I think he's 7.2 and 8.1 on both sites, something like that. So I think he's a little bit. Remember how Achane earlier in the year was underpriced? I feel similarly like it's just taking too long to price up Chase Brown, and so people remember Chase Brown would just always be in your core because he was just underpriced, and that's like where we are with Chase Brown. It's like, well, even if you want to get away from him, he's just so underpriced for his opportunity. You got to keep playing him.
Yeah, so I completely agree. What do you think about the big dog 8,300? Basically the highest projected guy of the week. Not even super chalk. We haven't talked about our boy Lamar yet.
I mean, it's a great spot for the Ravens.
It's a great spot. It is a great spot for the Ravens. Yeah.
I mean, it's the perfect Derrick Henry script, right? Like 16 the only thing better is if they were in Baltimore. I mean, 16-point road favorites. How often has there been a point spread higher than the opponent's team total?
Oh, that's a great question. I've never thought
the Giants team total is 13. The Ravens are laying 16. Out of the bye. The no Dexter Lawrence. Like it's good. I mean, the big dog's gonna cook. It's just the thing with the big dog always is is if you run into him at that price where he just only scores 1 touchdown or no touchdowns,
You're
like,
tilting your face off. Yeah.
yeah, it's the Barkley thing from last week. The argument always for Barkley last week was like at his salary, 9 and 10K, all you need for him to do is not score, because it's not like he's catching passes this year anyways. You just need him to not score, and if you played Justin Jefferson as a direct pivot or anything, like, you're great, then you're fine. And that's kind of where we are with Derrick Henry, although he's going to be lower owned than Saquon was last week.
I mean, it's actually the same thing. It's the same thing. It's all narrative based, you know, all the Ravens as a huge favorite and all that stuff. I'll tell you one of the angles I like, obviously, because I liked the Cowboys side of that game. I love playing Dowdle instead of Hubbard on like those chalk lineups. Like you use the chalk construction and then you use Dowdle instead of Hubbard. I mean, Dowdle's workload has been unbelievable. It's
yeah, Dowdle's definitely in play. I mean, it's a great running back slate in general. Like, that's the other problem with the forcing Derrick Henry in, where you'd want to, as a huge Derrick Henry spot, right? Like, big favorite against the Giants, no Dexter Lawrence, like I said. Like, but there are amazing running backs this week outside of Derrick Henry. You talked about Dowdle, we talked about Hubbard, maybe at Charbonnet, FanDuel, Chase Brown. James Conner is in an amazing spot as a 6-point home favorite against the Patriots.
Do you think Bucky's going to play? You got any insight on that?
I think he'll probably dress. It's just risky. You don't know, like last week, because the same thing. You just don't know what he's going to play. Damned if you do, damned if you don't spot, right? Not as good as the matchup either, but they're good at running against everybody.
It was sort of interesting because he went
Ryan Robinson Jr.
Brian Robinson Jr. That's my Davis Mattek flag plant. Not allowed to do in your state. It's illegal in your state to plant a flag. Actually, yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. is my favorite. Well, Brian Robinson Jr. and Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is going to be like Reeves. It's like the worst tight end week ever. No tight end.
It's a terrible spot, but that always goes two ways. So do you pay up for McBride or Kelce, or do you just say, they're the only two guys that can beat me? I'm going to play Stone Smart, Bretton Strange. Like, you just go that route and then put that salary somewhere else.
There you go. Coach Speak Index says he doesn't think Bucky is going to go. Rachaad White chalk. I mean,
he won't be.
If Bucky does not play, he'll be stone chalk. He'll be super owned.
I still think Hubbard's going to be the most popular guy.
He will be. You're right. Yeah, he will be. Yeah, I kind of wish Njoku was playing.
Njoku had like 30 targets the last 2 weeks.
Now, a lot of them are on the total give up plays that Jameis does, where it's like nothing. Yeah, I want to, because you're someone who would know. What do you make of this Christian Gonzalez, Marvin Harrison Jr. spot? Is Christian? Jacob Sanderson told me he thinks Christian Gonzalez is the best corner in the NFL. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't think it matters, though. Like, it's not 2014. Like, why are we doing cornerback wide receiver analysis? So here's the thing. Christian Gonzalez has played really well this year. Obviously, he shows up in all the metrics. But here's the other thing. The Patriots are bottom 5 in the NFL in points allowed to wide receiver ones. And they are bottom 5 in points allowed per game to outside wide receivers. Having a great cornerback individually just doesn't carry the same weight in the defensive meta of today's NFL, right? Like, we don't have shadow cornerbacks that dictate a defense. Like, it's almost a position that's not worth paying for. Obviously, you want to have good players in their position. If you can get a better player in position, you do it. But in the context of like value in the NFL, I think paying an elite cornerback almost in this current version where the NFL is right now is not really that worth it. It just doesn't matter. No, the highest man coverage teams, and the Patriots are one of the highest man coverage teams, they're playing man coverage 40% of the time.
So you like Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think he's fine as a tournament play. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's definitely not a guy I'm like jamming in cash, but I think he's fine as a current play because I like Kyler this week. And I know people will maybe brush back because people have done the Kyler thing. I actually have. If you listen to me and Hilo, we've been amazingly down on the Cardinals passing game all year long. But here's the thing. Since week 5, here's who the Cardinals have played since week 5. They faced the 49ers, the Packers, the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bears, the Jets, the Seahawks twice, and the Vikings all in a row. Not one of those teams is in the back half of the league in passing points allowed per attempt. The Patriots are 27th. Like, this is a huge flip. It's the first like real bad defense he's faced since the Rams. Same thing for Marvin Harrison Jr. So like, and we saw what he did, in that game. I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't think that's going to happen here against the Patriots. Like, you're not going to get that. But Christian Gonzalez has been as good as he's been all year, and the Patriots are still bad and all those other metrics. So like, what's the gain here?
Yeah. All right, Reeves. You ready to cook?
Yeah, let's make this thing.
All right. You go first.
Josh Allen rushing yards. We got to do it right.
Josh Allen rushing yards. What do we got here? We have got for Josh Allen 38.5. Do you like that, or do you like attempts?
I bet it at 33.5 when it opened. So it got destroyed. All
right, here. Let's add an extra half yard for the multiplier. 1.06x. All right, there we go. Josh Allen rushing yards. Let's see what the Gibbs longest rush is. Gibbs' longest rush on Underdog is still 16.5. I mean,
oh, baby.
Come on. They're
I bet it's so netting at hit. I bet it at 16.5 too when it opened. So you got to keep doing it. I checked. I pulled this up on the RG show. I bet it 24 of his games in a row.
That's a lot. That's a lot of times in a row, brother.
Going back to last year.
A lot of times in a row. Okay. Who do we want to look at next? Anyone from Miami, Houston interesting to you? Kansas City, Cleveland. What do we got for Brian Robinson?
Wait, you did Gibbs? That counted as yours?
Yes, yeah. Gibbs.
You want to do You want to do something, Brian Robinson?
So we've got 0.93x for a touchdown, 77.5 rushing yards. I actually like his receiving stuff. That feels best to me.
6.5 receiving yards.
6. That feels so low.
That's literally one catch. Like, I mean, just get one catch out the door.
I mean, I just want to check that I'm not tripping, but like,
I see. I'm looking at it. It says 6.5.
Well, I guess maybe I'm thinking back to his receiving usage last year.
It was last year where it was more stark with when who's the running back they had? Why can't you think of it?
Gibson.
Yeah, when Antonio Gibson was out, he got a bump. He's had a big bump with the 2 games Eckler's missed from a yardage perspective, but they just haven't really thrown to the running backs with him out. But 6.5 receiving yards is like one catch, man.
Yeah. It's too thin.
What about the just comboing it?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, he's definitely going to get 77 rushing yards too.
He's definitely going to get 77 rushing yards. Yeah, let's do it to 79.5 though, because we get a little multiplier, a little extra juice there.
Yeah, it's only a difference of a yard.
All right, what do we got for what do we have for Mr. Dowdle? Those are very high yarded. Those are 83.5 rushing yards, 99.5 scrimmage yards for Mr. Dowdle, dude. Crazy. What do they have? Well, we both like the Jets side of that game. What do they have for Braylon and for Isaiah Davis? They might have they don't. They're not posting them. They're cowards. Nothing.
Well, probably because Breece hasn't been officially ruled out.
Oh, Breece hasn't been officially ruled out. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to play, but
right.
Okay. Do we have?
I got a gross one for you.
So send it my way.
Demario Douglas.
I mean, say less, dude. I'm always on the Drake May stuff. What do you like? Receptions, yards, touchdown, not touchdown.
I like all this.
Yeah,
I think he's arguably my favorite DraftKings guy to like get other guys in this week.
They just removed some of his stats for me. So let's see.
Interesting.
There you go. They raised.
They bumped it. They hurt us.
Yeah.
They bumped it 1 yard.
They bumped it a yard. You like yards or receptions?
I think both probably hit.
All right, let's do 40.
Yeah, 40.5 is just so low.
40.5 is very low. Let's do Devin A. Chain touchdown. I mean, it just hits every week. Why would we not?
Just saving him.
Devin A. Chain. Yeah. The surveillance technology, dude.
We got for a yard, man. Remember that if Demario Douglas has exactly 40 yards, they got us.
Yeah. Reeves, we need 3 more.
We need 3 more. What do we want to do? Well, big dog. Do we have like a big dog longest rush or something?
Oh, that's a good one. Big dog longest rush is 20.5. That feels low. Feels quite low. Don't you think? Shouldn't we just do the big dog for like 139 rushing yards?
What did we do to Saquon last week? Did we take him? What did we move him to?
It hit. It
did.
We took him up to 129, and you told me you said don't be crazy. I took him up. I on another one I took him up to 179 yards, but on the one that you and I did, we took him to 129, which hit.
Which got there.
We'll do 119. We'll do 119 for Henry.
For the big dog.
For the big dog.
Fair enough.
All right. We need 2 more. What do we have for do you got any leans on Burrow or Chase or Higgins or Chase Brown or
I mean all those guys are good. They're all probably high though, high totals, right?
Chase is not as high as I thought. Only 88.5 receiving yards.
I think they've only allowed 100-yard receiver. They give up a lot of touchdowns, the Titans.
Could do
do you want to do a Kelsey touchdown or something?
Yes, I do. Reeves. I thought you'd never ask.
In Cleveland? He's played one game. He's played one game in Cleveland. He scored 2 touchdowns.
I didn't even think about that, brother. I did not even think about that. What do they have for Kareem Hunt? I wonder how these are priced. Kareem Hunt lower touchdown. That is a lock of the week. We don't have to include it on this one, but Kareem Hunt will not be scoring a touchdown in his revenge game against Cleveland Browns. That's not happening.
So here are the exact numbers. I pulled them up. So even with Christian Gonzalez on the field, the Patriots allowed 9.4 yards per target to opposing wide receiver ones. That's 26th in the NFL. They are 23rd in points allowed per game to outside receivers. So like even with him like being great.
Yeah. All right. I'm sold. Dude, this guy opt out, man. Reeves, there's a guy in the playoff best. There's a guy on the Underdog playoff best ball drafts who just keeps auto drafting. He just keeps auto drafting in the playoff best ball drafts, which ruins everyone's shit. Ruins everyone else's teams.
Like he's just that's his thing.
It's like he won a bunch of money. Like 2 slates ago. He got like 3 teams in the top 5 of some contest and has just been auto drafting. He's in apparently B-Spurf and Chris are saying that it's in every contest. He's just autoing everything. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's too rich to care. I don't know.
It's literally the Michael Caine meme. Like some men just want to watch.
Literally, that's what he's doing. He's ruining everyone's good time. He was in a bunch of my rooms. He was in a bunch of my rooms earlier.
This is some diabolical shit.
Yeah, it is. Awin autos a lot of stuff, but he's doing it in a more thoughtful way. He's doing it off rankings. You'd be fine with Awin being in your rooms.
What the hell, man? What is wrong? Like we're just so broken as a people. Like,
I know. We are.
We're out here taking fucking Demario Douglas over unders. Like there's no hope for us.
There's no hope for us. What's the most no hope? What do we have for Stone Smart? This would be the most no hope thing we could do here in the end. 3.52x to score a touchdown.
No,
I don't think I'm taking that. Yeah.
Let's do a good player.
Let's do a good player here. Reeves. I mean, I'll leave it up to Justin Jefferson.
What about? Well, let's do do you want to do a bring back on the Lions? We did Gibbs bring back. My bad. So we did that. We did
Gibbs. What about Bo Nix rushing yards?
He hasn't been running.
He hasn't been running. Bo Nix passing touchdowns higher than 1.5.
Well, do we do Hubbard? Like, what about Hubbard just like rush attempts?
Hubbard is at 18.5. Fuck, I'm not taking that. That is so high. I mean, I'm sure he'll get it, but my God, 18.5 for Hubbard.
What about Calvin Ridley?
I could do that. The Bengals
Like a
defense,
longest
dude.
catch or something? Like a
24.5. Sure. Yeah. Let's do that. All right. Bang. Well, no, let's just do yards. Let's just do yards, right?
Okay.
All right, there we go, folks.
Do 69.5 for the LLs.
You're right. I don't know. What am I thinking, man? What am I thinking? All right, there we go. Got it in, folks. That is Jahmyr Gibbs, 16.5 yards for his longest rush. Demario Douglas, higher than 40.5 receiving yards. Devin Achane, touchdown. Kelsey, touchdown. Josh Allen, higher, 39.5 rushing yards. Brian Robinson Jr., 79.5. Derrick Henry, 119.5. Calvin Ridley, 69.5 receiving yards. Bang.
Never seen anything so beautiful.
Dowdle longest run. I don't love Chuba Hubbard receiving yards. Honestly, they don't throw the ball to him a ton. I do
like his attempts still, even as a high number. There's just nobody there. Everyone's hurt. Blackshear's even hurt.
Yeah, Blackshear hurt his. Who's going to be there? Who's going to be their back?
I actually don't even know.
All right,
I don't even know who they're like. Who's up? Because Miles Sanders is still out too.
It's going to be Mike Boone. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the ghost of Mike Boone. Good for him.
Bayless Jones is on the team.
Good for Mike Boone.
Jordan Matthews is on the practice squad, and Mike Boone is on the practice squad.
I remember Jordan Matthews caught a touchdown in the preseason. I remember that.
Yeah. All right, Reeves. Well, what can the people, as we head towards the playoffs, what can they be getting over on Sharp Football?
I mean, I'm still just breaking down the games, and we do it in the playoffs. Obviously, no one's buying subs for right now. The fantasy stuff, but I'm still just writing up the games, enjoying this last month. Hope everyone has a good Christmas. Hopefully you can recoup that Black Friday and Christmas cash that everyone's been spending. Just enjoy it, man. Four full slates left.
4 full. Isn't that crazy, man?
And it's crazy because it goes by fast, but also feels long when you're a content creator. But it's like I think about some things that happen in week 1 or like week 2 or 3. Like when I'm writing up a game, I'm like, remember this? And I'm like, no, that feels like another year ago.
Yeah, the like thinking of like, remember when Rashee Rice hurt his knee? That was a different lifetime.
Didn't even know he was a human at this point.
Do you remember when Clint Kubiak was going to be hired to be the next?
I do. I definitely remember that.
Of every NFL team. It's like,
there's two things that I still think that I was wrong about, but believe I was right about. The one was the Saints run out and they just they all died. Like
they all died.
Rashid Shaheed and Olave, and Isaiah Pacheco was going to smash this year. Like there's.
Oh, Pacheco. I mean, come on, dude. Pacheco in the context of the Chiefs, yeah, he would have crushed. Now, the thing I believe that no one could tell me I was wrong about is that the Chiefs actually would have been fine on offense if Hollywood had not injured his shoulder. This shitty idiot version of the Chiefs would have. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong.
Because their offensive line sucks.
Because I was going to say because the tackle is still so bad. Yeah.
I saw Humphreys was even practicing yesterday. Hopefully he's figure something out.
Remember when Isaiah Likely scored 2 touchdowns?
Oh yeah.
Did he score twice?
That was Chiefs. He scored twice and he should have scored a third one because of the toe. Yeah. Really, really unbelievable, man. This devil magic. All right, I gotta get out of here though. But
okay. All right.
I'm jumping ship.
Later, boss. Have a great day,
all right, guys. Have a good one.
Take it easy, man. All right, folks. Mr. Hribar is out, and Mr. Nez Takes is joining the program. He was busy hanging out with Best Ball Viper and all the lads last week. Wow, James Young. James is feeling good because he's been telling everyone in YouTube chats for the last 6 months they were idiots for not drafting Barkley, and now it's his season. Nez, how are you doing, man? How you doing today? You are on mute, I think, or you have the wrong input.
Nope. I had this mic turned off for some reason. I always leave it on, but I walked past it the other day, saw the green light was on, and I'm like, I'm not using this. Let me turn this off. So there we go. Doing well, dude. Doing well. Had a really nice weekend. Survived the Cooper Cup goose egg yesterday. All of my Cooper Cup teams, I just went on patdonovan.com, bbmdb.com, and checked. All my Cooper Cup teams sucked for BBM, so no love lost.
I can't check that right now, man. That would be suicidal of me. That would be crazy for me to check right now, because I was a Cooper Cup guy, and I was a Cooper Cup and a Debo guy, and you were a Debo guy too. I just know if I check right now, it's not going to be where I want to go.
Yeah, I advanced 0 Debo teams. I had 38 shares of Debo. None of them got through. So it actually was like kind of like hilarious. Like,
I was going to say you'd prefer that, right?
Oh yeah, honestly, yeah. I was like, at first I was accepting my fate that here comes the Debo spike week. No, actually I'm feeling good. I was just wrong and happy to be wrong now.
Now our you sent me in absentia. You sent me last weekend your picks. All of them hit except for Janu.
Oh yeah, Janu.
Janu had 0, 0, 0, 0. That's 0 targets, 0 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards, 0
at regulations.
At the end of regulation, and then he scored. This is not true. We were not hating.
No,
this is the opposite of true. This is the opposite of true.
They are reluctantly drafting them. I are because I'm bullying them with the, don't you know they have a good record, and the AFC and the AFC just sucks, so you got to kind of take somebody.
Yes. So if you're new to the program, or if you are just a viewer of the Reeb stream and this is the first time you've done this, very simple process here. What we are going to do is we are going to go over to unabated.com/NFL/DFS/Underdog Fantasy, and we are going to load up Derek Carty's Blitz projections, and we are going to spend the next 45 minutes to an hour firing a bunch of pick 'em entries on underdog.com. And man, I bet, you know what's so funny, Nez? I bet they are going to see crazy NFL pick 'em volume this week because the best ball stimmy just hit.
Oh yeah, I mean everything's got to be booming, right? I mean, everyone's hopping in the best ball streets. Everyone's hopping in pick'ems. Probably doing a little bit of hedging if they're anything like me on their portfolios. The pick'ems got to be going crazy.
Easy. Before you tuned in, we literally just did Derrick Henry longest rush, like right before you tuned in. Reebs and I hit that.
Those numbers are not big enough.
No,
they're just straight up not big enough. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, maybe he's going to get rested. No, Big Dog is absolutely smashing the Giants into the earth.
Yeah, everything is filling way faster with the stimmy. Yeah, it's a great time. Great time to be on underdog.com. Yes, everyone, I do have my voice. Look, you've made it through an hour. You can do another hour. Imagine what it feels like to be speaking with this voice, folks.
How do you feel?
I actually don't feel that bad, but
okay.
I've taken a ton of cough medicine, like a ton. Because this has happened to me many times before in my life where I get sick and I have to go talk for many hours. So I kind of know what to do. It's like I chug a Pedialyte, I take a bunch of Dayquil, and you just have the electrolytes, and then drink bone broth, and basically I'll be good. I'll be good in a couple days.
Nice.
How did you feel coming home from Dallas? I mean, you had to have been feeling pretty rough.
I mean, dude, honestly, I wasn't doing too bad. I had just I was Ubering, back and forth from home to Dallas and stuff. So I got to sleep in my own bed whenever I got home, which was nice. and have that chance to refresh and get some Uber, DoorDash, some greasy ass food, drink a bunch of water. And that usually helps me get back on track. I think what also helped is like a few weeks before that, I went to the Steelers Commanders game, overdid it like no one's ever overdid it before. And that was like a nice little, like, okay, got that out of my system. I remember what my limits are again, and didn't let Warner and Pete get the best of me.
No, that's really smart. That's actually very smart to know your limits. All right, folks. Let's dive in. Let's start to see what Mr. Cardi and our friends over at Unabated have. By the way, if you guys missed it, they did a crazy sale. They did like 66% off on Cyber Monday. I've not talked to anyone from Unabated. I'm gonna guess they're gonna do a Christmas sale. I'm literally just guessing, but I'm gonna guess that there will be a sale around Christmas that I would encourage you guys to be thinking about.
Yeah.
And I'm with Derek on this this second one right here. Lamar Jackson lower passing yards, brother. They're running the triple option against the Giants. Like he's gonna throw like 17 times in this game.
Yeah, I don't know how, unless it's just on crazy efficiency. I'm not sure how.
He could throw a screen to Derrick Henry, I guess, that could ruin this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of ways, but this game's gonna be so out of hand, right? It's just the Derrick Henry show. I wonder, and maybe we can test this out later, how much of like if we get docs, if you're saying Lamar lower,
let's try it. Let's try it right now.
Yeah, Derrick Henry rushing yards.
Let's do Henry 119. Well, actually, no, because my pea brain won't understand it.
That's what I was gonna let you cook, but like,
no,
I did want to see the general payouts.
That's literally so funny because both of us are like, we don't know the math well enough to know.
Are you kidding me? Who's doing fractional multiplication? Okay,
no, you get nice. No doc. You get no doc.
I just wanted to check that out. That's very nice because that actually is something that I believe is correlated. So,
all right, we'll remove that. Okay, so we have got Lamar Jackson lower passing yards.
I like that Russie.
You like Russ lower passing yards?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right, take me through, brother.
Well, I don't think Pickens is gonna play, right?
He's almost certainly not gonna play.
So how is he? Like, who's he? Like, is Freiermuth putting up 100? Is Calvin Austin the third putting up 50? For my
playoff best ball teams, I just need to like tell myself that Pat Freiermuth is capable of having like a 17-point game, but I fear that is very unlikely. So yeah, I think you're probably right on this one.
Yeah, the Eagles are just very good, and I think they're going to be able to make life hell for Russ. Unless Pickens like miraculously comes out and plays, which like I'm not an expert, but grade 2 hamstring strain. I can't imagine he's coming back after 1 week.
I don't think he's playing until the playoffs, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be really surprised. So I saw the lower and I thought it just made a lot of sense. Eagles are a tough spot, and like it's Mike Dubb, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, and maybe Jalen Warren is like actually going beast mode, which like I would happily take, but I don't think that he's getting 201.
That game is going to be over so fast. These are two teams that just want to hand the ball off, like these are two teams that just want to run the rock.
Yeah.
Like Artie Smith wants to run the rock. Kellen Moore. I actually don't think Kellen Moore wants to run the rock that much, but I think he kind of
has to.
Well, it's like he kind of has to. And also, dude, this is about to be, I need to not come on air when I'm not feeling well, but like,
let the delusions cook.
So like, I've been playing a lot of NCAA 25, right?
Okay. Take me through it.
It is like actually unbelievable how much easier it is to win games when you run well. Like when you are an efficient running team, you could just stuff it down people's throat and they can't get the ball from you. And it's just like, of course I've always understood why coaches like to run the ball. It's like, there's that, I always forget to attribute who this quote to, but they said, yeah, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen and only one of them is good, catch, incompletion, interception. But yeah, like I totally get why coaches like to run the ball. So like Kellen Moore, I mean Kellen Moore was a quarterback, obviously, but I think when you have Barkley and you have Hurts, and you have those tackles, those crazy good tackles, wouldn't you just want to run the ball all the time?
I mean, yeah, it's what he's been what he's really been doing. And I mean, I don't want to say I'm a Hurts hater because like Hurts is like literally just like on paper as being the nicest dude ever and like in a really good guy.
Yeah,
But
be careful, Nez.
I just don't think Hurts is like a great QB. Who's behind me? Who's behind you?
This is my University of Oklahoma Sam Bradford.
Oh,
that is my University of Oklahoma helmet right there. So you need to be very careful about what you say about my.
But he left. He left you.
Caleb left. Hurts didn't leave. Caleb left. Hurts transferred to Oklahoma.
Because Tua took his job, right?
Tua took his job.
Okay.
He transferred to Oklahoma. Yeah.
All that to say, I just don't think like Hurts is like a great passer. So you're kind of forced to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing as Lamar. It's like everyone can universally acknowledge that you don't want them to play like Tom Brady, but it doesn't mean you can't win games with them.
Yeah, I guess
a different thing.
The splitting of hairs is like I actually think Lamar can pass like pretty well.
Lamar is better. Lamar is better. Lamar is better than Hurts. Hurts is better than his haters think he is, but he's way worse than people like me think he is. Like in
Lamar,
my mind,
Lamar on a mediocre team could do way more than Hurts with a mediocre team.
Yes. Hurts needs to have better protection, and he needs to have. I mean, like obviously we've seen a huge. We've had Hurts is so much better throwing the ball to AJ Brown than every other player. I mean, like obviously most quarterbacks would, but like
right. Yeah, made a big difference. So
anyway,
yes.
long digression about Jalen Hurts, a player who I'm very fond of. But Lamar Jackson lower passing yards, Russell Wilson lower passing yards. Another player I'm very fond of, the Kyler Murray higher passing yards. Reeves just laid this out for us before. Basically, the Patriots, despite having Christian Gonzalez, are this ass passing defense. They're just terrible. They're just really, really bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love Patriots are one of my favorite game environments every week, like week in, week out. I love attacking the Patriots. I think you can do it like a number of ways in the pick'em lobbies. Why not do it with the highest edge and Kyler Murray?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kyler Murray is how do you think about Marvin Harrison Jr. this week? Are you taking him in six mans?
I haven't like really gotten to him a ton in six mans because I'm like very much I have a pretty strong focus. I got to recheck my ranks here, but I know that he's like on the outside looking in for me when it comes to my wide receiver ranks because I am like pretty dialed in on Ladd. I'm pretty dialed in on the Jets receivers this week.
Oh no.
So accept it. They're about to go nuts.
You're gonna end up duping with the ETR subs. You're gonna win main battle royale, and you're gonna literally dupe with the guy whose underdog username is ETR sub.
And you know what? I'll be there holding hands with him as we split first. But that's the stars are aligning there for those Jets guys to go nuts.
My scrolls are Marvin Harrison Jr. and JMO at wide receiver.
JMO, yeah, I was hoping we would see JMO on the edge screen here, but maybe we can't because these are just like
these are just
edges right now.
The top plays. I'm with this, by the way. Chuba Hubbard higher rushing yards. I'm super with that. I think
that game's gonna be awesome. I think.
Yeah,
like I know it's a weird thing to say about a Cooper Rush Dallas.
No, it's gonna be awesome.
But provided it's gonna kick ass.
So I think we might get owned by the weather. It's supposed to maybe be a little bit rainy in Charlotte, which would not be great, but that would be good for this. It would be good for Mr. Hubbard. I mean, I just looked this up. Do you know who technically right now is their backup running back?
I kind of heard a little bit of you talk about it.
It's Velus fucking Jones, brother.
I think what an awesome career switch. Find yourself behind RB2. Who would have thought RB2 Velus Jones?
Yeah, and Mike Boone, man.
God.
A former fantasy hero. Why is David Montgomery projected for 10.9 attempts? I assume that, and I'm just ignoring this because I don't want to be taking lowers in this game at all.
No.
I'm assuming why Derek has it mathed out this way is he has this game very high projected pass rate for both teams.
Yeah.
So there's just going to be lowers showing for the running backs, which I think is probably right. But again, you just have to know your own risk tolerance and shit like that, you know? And I am not taking I'm not taking a lower in Detroit Buffalo. It's just not good for my mental health.
You gotta have fun at the end of the day. And if that's not fun for you and it's not fun for me, then you don't have to do it. But I would like to dive in more on that, but I see where he's coming from. Like 100% I see where he's coming from.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get our fifth here. I do like Jerry Jeudy lower receiving yards just because that game I think I want it to be a good game. I want it to be a good game so bad, Nez. But it's like this is about to be the 3-10 Browns against the Chiefs, like in the cold, in the rain. Like it's about to be so brutal. But the Chiefs defense has been bad, so maybe we don't have to take this one. Rich and I were talking about the Brian Robinson Jr. higher receiving yards. What do you think about that one?
I wasn't getting to that next level of receiving yards, but Brian Robinson in this game is such a smash. There's just like no way that he's not getting home in some form or fashion. So receiving yards is interesting. I guess Eckler not likely to play. Is that part of the thesis?
He's on the IR, bro.
Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, he's actually done, huh?
Yeah. So let's do that because I think that's just your classic easy but boring one. Basically, yeah, easy. Just it's just boring.
It is, but like I like it, and that's a fun way to play Brian Robinson because I think he's such a good pick.
Yeah. Do you like Rico or B-Rob more in the BR streets?
I think I lean Rico. I'm really into Rico here. They're 11 and 12 side by side. They're both in my player pool. I'll mix them both up and like just pass on Kamara entirely. But him and B-Rob are great picks in the BR.
Yeah, they are.
Running back's so deep this week for six mans.
Every week.
Isn't that the truth though?
Yeah. All right. Entry number 1. We have got Lamar Jackson lower than 214.5 passing yards. We've got Russell Wilson lower than 201.5 passing yards. Kyler Murray higher than 223.5 passing yards. Chuba Hubbard higher than 80.5 rushing yards, and Brian Robinson Jr. higher than 6.5 rushing yards. I actually love that. I love taking the run, like the just like the very close, one of my favorite bets this year was Tyler Algier over 3.5 receiving yards against the Buccaneers, and he got 4 receiving yards on 1 reception. And I just remember thinking that was so sick. That was such a sick wager to make.
That was disgusting. A Tyler Algier receiving. God damn, man.
That was back in the clear timeshare days. That's
okay. Yeah.
Terrence thinks the Chiefs lose this one. They've been flirting with disaster. Yeah, that's what you think, bro. That's what it's. Look, we all think that. Look, we all think that it's not happening. They're gonna end up winning. With I don't know what would be the most hilarious way for them to win this one. James walking out of his own end zone.
Fine, yeah. How are they gonna find a way to do this, right? Or like a muffed punt or something, like a bad muffed punt, sort of like the Cowboys and Bengals game, and then they pick it up and then they kneel it or kick a field goal or something. They'll find a way. I was gonna say T-Bear is like a streamer's best friend because he just like is an endless supply of hot takes and he'll just fire them off. He has absolutely an endless supply of them, but that's funny. Everybody's like favorite joke to make right now, I've seen this made like 20,000 times, is like every Chiefs game needs to be minus 500 and plus 1.5 like for the other team, but man, it's kind of true.
Yeah, man. What are you deep in these? Are you how many playoff best balls have you done? Or what are you doing with the Chiefs?
I think deeper than most. Man, right now, if you were to ask me, like, hey, what's the best way to draft playoff best ball right now? It's building Chiefs.
Yeah, it's definitely the theory play, but Chiefs over Ravens, basically. But I mean,
it's really easy to do. I like my thing is, and we're gonna do an episode on this on Badge Bros at some point. But the way I like to play playoff best ball is like I don't like to just draft the best teams, like the best teams in football. I like to build like the best teams that if this makes the Super Bowl, like I'm at worst duping for first with somebody. So I do a lot of these more like long shotty things, but you can pair the best Chiefs together with like NFC team of your choice and have like the best team possible if that Super Bowl happens. That's how I like to play it. I'm not like chasing 1 seed versus 1 seed, things like that.
Not a sidekick user. Not a sidekick optimal drafter. I gotta say, I'm not a tools guy in general. People know from watching the Thursday show with Nerdy. I like to IKB the tools, but I do the thing that's very helpful about the sidekick is it really keeps you on track and knowing you could still IKB it, but it helps you know.
Yeah, if you're not in the rhythm of playoff best ball, that's super helpful because it did take me a few reps to kind of like, okay, like I remember how to do this.
Did you max the way too early wild card?
No, brother. No.
I did.
I know you did.
People don't know how deep my mental health struggles go until they learn that I maxed the way too early wild card. All right. I mean, we got to do the Hateful Eight, right? We got to Hateful Eight, then the Octopus, then the sliders.
I have a start for the Hateful Eight, and it's not like you're not gonna like this, but I think we do, and you can overrule me. An Achane lower rushing yards, just lower rushing yards, Davis. Just the rushing yards.
Except I don't even hate it because I have the same experience with Achane every single week with you, with everyone else. But dude, 47.5 is so goddamn low for a guy who gets the ball as much as he does.
Yeah, but like he doesn't really get that a lot.
Let's actually, I bet he's honestly probably not gotten it once since Tua came back because it's all been receiving.
He got it against in his last 5 games. He's gotten that once, and then like you said, without Tua, he was getting it against like Arizona and Indy, and then 3 games, against like it's like a 50-50 odds on this, and against the Texans. I just don't see them, 1, rushing a ton with Achane. And 2, the Texans defense kind of decent as well. Now I'm not trying to play DVP.
If you do the fancy metrics, if you do like EPA and all that stuff, they're like goated. They're like really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think a receiving game for him.
So here's the deal though. I am overruling this, and I'm overruling it because I think if Devin Achane sucks this week, I literally have no chance of advancing any best ball teams. Like if Achane gets outscored by Barkley this week, like you could just say this man didn't get a single team into the semis, not even in the mini Schnauzer 7. Like,
and then we're getting like a 10 tweet thread from you about like why you would do it all over again.
I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying not to cope. Like, I think, the thing I'm realizing that I missed the most overall was I just didn't care that the Chiefs didn't have a left tackle, really. That's a bit of a mistake.
That's not why that happened. I mean, dude, Rice and Hollywood, man. Let's be real. That you didn't miss anything.
Here's the real beginning of the Hateful Eight. Nick Westbrook-Akini. Lower.
They're letting us do it again.
This should literally be like 0.4x. Like
it
shouldn't even be offered. It really should not even be offered. I mean, it's crazy.
Amazing. Wow.
Do they have Valdez-Scantling? No, they don't. They're not even letting us take the shorter side. Kareem Hunt. This is another one. This should be like 0.4.
Yeah.
The only reason that I'm even worried that this would not hit is because Andy might let him get one crack from the 3-yard line because he played for the Browns last year.
Oh, wouldn't that just be terrible?
It would be terrible, but I mean I think honestly they don't really have the luxury of doing things like that this season.
Yeah, that's your saving grace is there's not a lot of room to have fun for them.
All right, so those are my two: Nick Westbrook-Ikhine and Kareem Hunt. You can begin the hating now.
Yeah, let's go to Alvin Kamara and take a lower on Kamara.
I mean, this is so strong because of the Kendre stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can just do scrimmage yards. Personally, they got.
Easy.
I mean, Kendrick's back. Jake Haener is playing QB. I think the Commanders' defense is strong enough to kind of keep him in check. I mean, if you want to do just straight rushing yards, if you're scared, you can. But I think that we have enough cushion with 105 scrimmage yards on this one.
Sure. Yeah, I like scrimmage yards better. I mean, rushing yards is all. I think you could take any Kamara lower, and honestly, I think it's fine.
He's one of my favorite lowers this week because he just has that. Because they kind of have to project him like this on Underdog because the volume just looks crazy. Too strong. But it's so fragile that I love taking the lower.
I mean, yeah, his volume can go either. The game can go against them. He can just play poorly like he did last week. Yeah, we'll do the sliders next, then we'll do the octopus. I don't think interceptions count for the Hateful Eight. I think the idea of the Hateful Eight is lowers, but yeah, whatever Jameis interception is, I bet it's 0.84x.
You're dialed, man. You are dialed.
Am I right? Where is it?
Yeah,
I don't have it. Oh yeah, 0.82x there for an interception. I mean, obviously, I think that is fine.
Yeah, he does that quite a bit, but
he sure does. Can we get an Aaron Rodgers lower? I know we got owned by this last week.
Yeah.
Well, I got owned by this last. It was his first 300-yard passing game in 3 years. So
that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's a horrible spot to take a lower against the Jags, but again,
they are giving us ETN.
Oh, are they?
They're allowing us.
Yeah, he's not scoring.
I mean, I know that these multipliers are low, but like that's why you take 8. That's why we do 8 of these.
That's why we're taking 8 of them.
Yeah.
So I actually took a higher on his rushing attempts last week, without realizing that it was just the Tank Bigsby program. Like, just wow. Just all Bigsby all the time.
I wasn't quite prepared for that either.
I was not.
I had to look that up, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay." So he is truly finished.
Yeah, well and truly finished. I like oh damn. I was gonna say I kind of like a Herbert lower passing yards if they're gonna give it to us with Ladd questionable, but
yeah,
they're not offering such a thing. We could do.
What do you
Bryce
think about
Young.
Okay, well, that's we could peruse this game, but like I'm excited about this game. So it's not quite as fun.
Hey, don't let me yuck your yum, brother.
I think we should look at the Colts and look at some of the Colts receiving guys.
Yep. Yep. What are they going to give? I mean, I'm sorry, Josh Downs, but 53.5 receiving yards is a lot for you.
Yeah. Broncos, pretty decent.
Wait. Easy as saying Javonte. I mean, I take Javonte lower than 31.5 rushing yards all day.
He wants his longest rush, I think.
I'm not taking that.
I need to be walked.
I'm sorry, dude, but like the only thing you want on a Denver running back is a lower.
Unless we're playing Jaleel.
Unless we're playing. Well, I mean, what do we have?
No, he's got no yardage or anything.
I think we do lower than 4.5 receptions for Downs. I think if he beats us on a long one, right?
He's definitely the one that like scares me a little bit
because he's actually good. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I'll do We'll do Pittman. Lower 44.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can do a 1x on Pittman for receiving yards on the lower.
There we go. We could do.
Oh, okay. Easy was saying lower. I thought he was. I never saw that specified.
Why are they offering a McDuffie rushing? Are they really?
And Heineke.
Maybe it's, I don't know. I assume there is something, because I saw the Heineke one. I'm assuming someone pressed the wrong button somewhere, or maybe
Herbert was questionable. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It is very funny though. I mean,
Tuffy, that's great.
I'd love to. I wonder. Let's see this. Has Trent McDuffie ever played an offensive snap? I'm gonna guess no. I'm gonna guess that he has never played an offensive snap.
I would wager good money on that.
Let me check his game logs. I'm gonna guess no. Never registered an offensive snap. So I think maybe don't bet 19.48x on this. Oh yeah, here we go. Jaleel or Javonte not to score a touchdown. I mean that is a great way to play that. I love betting on these guys not to score touchdowns. I mean it's incredible. Dude, you're putting us in jail, man. You're putting us in jail for hating. Come on, dude.
It's what happens, man. You gotta give a little to get a little.
You're gonna get this notification that you won 10x your money. You're not gonna care. You're not gonna care that it took you 8 picks to 10x your money. You're just gonna be happy to get the winning. Cha-ching! You won $118 playing Pick'em Champions. You're gonna love that notification.
The hateful eight is great for your mental health.
Yes, yeah. The cha-ching notification is fantastic. What is Nick Chubb not to score a touchdown?
Oh, great idea.
I bet it's kind of juicy.
Please tell me they have it.
They might not. Is he questionable? 0.81. Sorry, Nick. I know you're a great servant of the team.
Let's go.
But all right. I wonder if you know what is really good is touchdown lowers in Pittsburgh, Philly, if they're priced the right way.
They probably are, I would imagine. But what's your like favorite way to do this?
Well, I was thinking Freiermuth, if it's crazy low. It's not.
They don't even have it.
Or Jalen Warren. Maybe they have a Jalen Warren. 0.65x. I mean, come on, any touch. I mean, or Najee. I mean, I would rather take Najee, but I have a feeling you think Najee scores in this game.
I just don't. This game to me just feels like very low scoring. Obviously,
exactly.
he's the most likely 1-2 score. But that's 0.9x on that is probably a good way to get this to get some more money back.
Yeah. All right, there we go. All right. FGGDF Are we out of jail now that we 13x your money with a victory here? You tell me. You tell me if we have done it. Let me throw this in chat. There you go, folks.
5 gauntlet entries to return.
Five. Yeah. You gonna complain? You gonna complain about 5 gauntlet entries? I don't think so, brother.
Look at this thing.
It's beautiful, man.
It's so fun to see green dots on your live.
You know what? It's great. That's the new thing I'm woke to is taking lowers is fun because it's just great to get more green dots. So we've got Nick Westbrook-Akeen, lower rushing receiving touchdowns, Kareem Hunt not to score, Alvin Kamara lower yards, Travis Etienne not to score, Pittman lower receiving yards, Javonte not to score, Chubb not to score, Najee Harris not to score. We are submitted. We are clicking them in, and I guess now we should do the Octopus, right? We should get back on the pony because the Octopus is the other one. We had a 6 out of 8 on the Octopus 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was that one hurt. I was really counting our chickens well before they hatched on that.
We got him back. We got Mr. FGG back on side. He's back on side.
He said, "Looks good, nice,
looks good, looks good." Okay, we're hitting them. We're hitting them with the touchdowns. Nez, you can go first, man. Who's scoring a touchdown this week?
If this is a little too far, let me know. But I think Kelsey in a little homecoming game.
This is the federal government has actually mandated that he score here. Yeah, this is Biden himself put in the call on this one. This is the Cleveland Heights boy.
Yeah,
he's back at home. I think Reeves just told me the only game he's played at home he scored twice. So
really, yeah. Put it in there. I think the Browns defense is just really, really bad as well. That they should be able to, if they do feel like scripting up something for the hometown kid, they easily could. And yeah, I just think the Chiefs are gonna have a hell of a game here. They do need a bit of a get right game. I don't know, that's very bro science, but they need to win a game decisively. I think that would be very helpful for their psyche.
It'll never happen until the Super Bowl. Then all of a sudden they're going to be in the Super Bowl against the Lions, and Mahomes is going to look like Mahomes again. He's gonna suck his gut in. They're gonna all the epinephrine that Kelsey's body can handle. They're gonna shoot him up. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I like the Kelsey one a good bit. I mean, do we just take our weekly free touchdown from Devin Achane? It's even money this week.
Oh, buddy, put it in there.
Devin Achane on the season. I honestly don't know the answer to this question. I'm gonna assume that he has 11 touchdowns on the season. He has 12.
Wow, does he really?
No, he's got 10. My bad.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah, you middled it there.
Jesus Christ, man, he just scores a lot.
these
non two. The only two a game he didn't score in was the Rams game,
which is odd.
Which is weird. He did have 5 receptions in that game, though. Man,
yeah.
Achane, becoming Derrick Henry, becoming a volume guy. Like this was so not on my bingo card, bro.
No, didn't think it was gonna happen this way for him. I thought it was gonna be like literally Alvin Kamara sophomore season type stuff.
Yeah,
not exactly.
Not exactly. Yeah. Today is Taylor Swift's birthday.
Friday the 13th.
For the uninitiated.
Ooh.
1989, baby. A Diet Coke is not going to help me, bro. Diet Coke's not helping.
I disagree.
Maybe I will have one with lunch though. Okay. We got Achane. We got Kelsey. Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, that's a great way to go. I was looking at Henry's touchdown multiplier.
Let me guess.
Hilarious.
0.75. Jesus, man.
What? Are you kidding me? But like, I understand. Like, if you're gonna offer it, it has to be.
I get it, but 0.68. I mean, I guess you know what you do? You wait until you get your bonus for the week, whatever promo they do, your 50% boost. That's what you include. That's what you include the Henry one on.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. All right, we're not taking that. So we've got Kelsey, we got Achane, we got B-Rob. What is Jefferson's number against the Bears?
They play on Monday night, right? I mean, I'm cool with this, but if you want to say,
I think we learned that he's still him.
Oh no, he is. I was just saying if we were okay with this being a multi-day.
I like that. I like carrying a 7-daughter over to Monday night or Sunday night. Do you not? Is it too anxiety inducing for you?
Just one leg sticking into the Monday night. No, let's do it. I mean, you. Are you doubling down? Because you probably have a lot of Jefferson that advanced, right? Because you were pretty...
Nez, I literally can't look, man. It's too. It's
Sorry.
too.
I'm
It's too
sorry.
tilting. It's
I'm
like
sorry.
it's like I assume any team that I advanced has Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, and Jefferson on it. I assume.
Yeah, I won't even. I mean, yeah, it's a big part of your portfolio.
It
'Cause I
sure.
had it up.
It sure. Okay. So there you go. So I need this.
Let's do it. Let's do it for
Yeah.
the vibes. No, I
Let's
agree,
do it.
right? I mean, he finally saw one. We just saw the Bears get ripped apart. I think Jefferson's capable.
That's such an interesting thing. Yeah, the Bears are supposed to be this great defense, and then Brock
Yeah.
Purdy just like diced them up, brother.
Dude, the Bears are just like so frustrating, impossible to get right. Just seriously impossible to get right.
Man, what's very frustrating last week is I was all over Jennings, all over Purdy, like who like relatively smashed, but it just didn't matter at all because of how nuclear the Vikings and the Bills went. Like I should have been a very directionally accurate week for your boy.
That's the way the whole season has gone for me, man. I swear, like I'm getting games right, but it's sorry, but you didn't include the 50-point Josh Allen game. Like, go ahead and hand in all your money.
Sorry, idiot. You didn't know Zach Charbonnet was gonna get 100 receiving yards and 100 rushing yards, brother. Joke's on you, man.
Yeah, it's been that kind of ride for me.
All right, Kelsey, A-Chain, Robinson, Jefferson.
Okay.
Now you, boss.
Let's. I really like. I do like Courtland Sutton, but I don't want to throw him in here. I would like something that's a little more secure.
I like Sutton. It's a very good match. Wide receiver ones destroy the Colts.
Okay, if you're with it, I'm with it, man. Because I think Courtland Sutton is a great play this week.
And Nix has toned down his scrambling and his rush rate in the red zone, like both things.
Well, that's good for Courtland.
Yes. All right, that's 5. The chat wants us to take Trey McBride. I just here's the deal. Some things exist for a reason. And Trey McBride having scored I believe the number is 5 touchdowns in the last 4 seasons of his life. I think there's a reason for it, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, I don't know.
They don't even want me to do it. That's a sign.
Yeah,
that's a sign.
Yeah, they're saying look elsewhere. Try again.
They are. They're our friends in Underdog. They're protecting me. Gary Gensler was protecting me right there. You know.
But what if we do? Do you want to do James Conner?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do James Conner. This is a bad defense, bro. This is a very bad defense. 0.89x. We do have the vulture protection. I guess if that is, does Kyler count for that?
He does, I think.
Okay.
Well, I thought he did. Maybe it's running back only. But regardless.
Right. Well, we got to read the rules. A rush TD scored by a player who is not a designated running back. Yeah. So I remember the Trey McBride. Remember the Trey McBride rushing touchdown? That one counted.
Oh, hell yeah.
Conner.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. James Conner. That's 6. James Conner going to be a very popular play on all daily fantasy formats this week. Oh, Chase Brown, dude. Brown.
What do we got for him?
0.92x. That should be the same as Derrick Henry's number. It should be 0.64 or whatever.
Yeah, Chase Brown touching the ball 30,000 times. That sounds good to me. Do you want to do like a Rico or Chuba to cap this off, or
yes?
Do you have better ideas?
Rico is 0.93. Chuba is 0.89x. I'll leave it up to you. I don't care.
I think I go Chuba.
He's certainly. I mean, they have the higher team total.
Yeah, which is crazy. I think I lean Chuba, but I do love me some Rico too.
By the way, this happened to me again, where I was able to do. It was soccer. It was soccer the other day. I did a soccer one, and I was
Really?
able to do standard with an
I have
8-legger.
no idea why I'm not able to.
I think it's sport based. It's either sport based or it's multiplier based.
It's weird because I swear my guy Johnny Footballs sent us one when we were hanging out at the Dog Bowl, and it looked like he had like the standard option, and maybe I'm just like misremembering, and I did not. It was weird.
No, I believe
you might be right.
I believe it is sport based or multiplier based. Like if you get it at certain multiplier, you can't do it standard, or maybe you can't do it for NFL. You can only do it for, college basketball and soccer, or, niche stuff, or maybe if there's anything correlated. I don't know. But certainly sometimes you can do these. All right, it's time for the sliders, bro. It's time
All
for
right.
so these are our like basically like our jams, like the guys we love above and beyond this week.
Where do we start? I like quite a few guys this week, but I think we start with the big dog, man.
You know what? The big dog is so last week I took Barkley up to 179 yards. He got to his 129 slider because I think he had 134 rushing yards. There you go. Top season sickos can do it. Johnny has the standard. So maybe it is state by state. I don't know. It certainly could be state by state. Big dog. We can take the dog himself to 159 for 4.5x.
I think that's good.
I think that's good too.
I was playing around with 179. I'm like, let's just like, let's not fly too close to the sun, Icarus here, but let's do 159. I think that is totally believable, where Derrick Henry is just pushing best ball teams.
Derrick Henry has topped that number 3 times this season.
Really?
One game was against Washington. One game was a huge blowout win against Buffalo, and the other one was it doesn't look like a huge blowout win against Dallas, but it was a huge blowout win against Dallas.
He had to have gotten close against the Bengals, right? Or am I misremembering?
You're misremembering. He did shit against the Bengals, and then
he had like one long run, right?
He had a 65-yard run. I had his lower on his rushing yards that week. He had a 65-yard run in overtime.
That's what I remember.
So this number actually, I think from Underdog is pretty fair at 4.5x because over 150 he's done 3 times. So that's right about fair. Without getting into the math of projections and everything. A guy I really like this week is Ladd.
Yeah.
But because I think this is a spot for the Chargers have to push a little bit, but I don't think they're going to offer anything for him because he's like legitimately questionable. Oh,
yeah, we get rushing yards or receiving yards.
I don't love 1 point. I wish we got a little bit of extra juice there for the 100-yard game.
If you just do 2, like I'm cool with like just pairing 2 sliders if that's what you prefer. I love Ladd this week. I feel like we haven't gotten like what I mean. That's incorrect because he has two games over 100 yards in his last 3.
The game
80 yards
game
against Baltimore.
That game against Atlanta, no one else on the team got more than 2 targets, and now Will Dissly is out.
Yeah, Ladd's kind of the truth. I am like the health wise, but he's limited, right? I would be much more worried if he was DNP.
Yeah, he practiced. He practiced all week in a limited. Although he did practice last week as well.
I like this.
Yeah. All right, and then I think we need one more guy that we feel strongly about. What is it? What about your boy Bijan?
Yeah, they don't have total scrimmage yards, just rushing. That one's interesting. Yeah, I don't.
Just getting him to 100 yards is 99.5x. I mean, Kirk Cousins has not thrown a touchdown in a month.
Is
True
that
story.
real?
That's real. 6 interceptions, 0 touchdowns in a month.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. I don't feel that great about that one. What did we get?
Good. What were you about to say?
I was just gonna see what we had on Mr. Brown. Mr. Chase Brown, his scrimmage yards. It's not that big of a multiplier to 124.
Yeah, it's hard to know like when it's. You just know it when you know it when you see it.
You just know when you see it.
Yeah, it's tough to call. We don't have anything. I was looking at this Bills Lions game.
That's such a good one. Yeah. Just someone to go nuclear there.
And I think what do you think about JMO?
JMO is such a good one where a median projection can never capture his range.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. And I think just like 80. I mean, that gets us damn near to 100.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's run that one. There we go. The super slider. That one's really good. I think.
Big fan.
Derrick Henry super slider, 159.5 rushing yards. Lad McConkey, 99.5 receiving yards. Jameson Williams, 79.5 receiving yards. And I'm gonna flex this one too. I'm gonna do the secret. I'm gonna do the secret trick of reusing the players. Cause Derrick Henry is gonna get there for us, brother.
Yeah, he's the L word on that one.
Yeah. All right, we should go back. We should build another 8-legger for the Cardi stuff, and then maybe we'll do a playoff best ball draft when we get out of here. What's on the deck for on and off the clock today?
Yeah, just our usual BR breakdown. I need to do a little bit more 6-man homework on that. We're gonna break down the BR slate, break down the goal line stand because we got 100K in the goal line stand once again, and then we'll end up doing like crazy pick ems as well over there. And then tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern, I'm also going live on the Badge Bros and doing some goal line stands behind the paywall there as well to help build some lobbies and do some vibes. So that's me today.
Goal line stand, bro. I'm just not a 12-man bro.
Yeah, I love it. They're my favorite, like by far.
And honestly, probably like my style of playing is probably better for the 12-mans because it's more about player takes and less about the combos and the theories. But maybe next year I will wait. I need. Here's the thing: is I need Dan to build a sim for the 12-mans, you know.
Yeah. If he built that one out, that would be, and people would be very interested in that.
They sure would. All right, let's head back over to Unabated. And let's start to figure this out. Let's not use any of the ones we already used. I do like the Josh Jacobs higher rushing yards, man. I mean, that is a big game against Seattle.
What they like the higher? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love Josh Jacobs.
I mean,
on record.
Yeah, they are. They just love handing the ball off, man. They run no plays on offense. I believe they've had 4 consecutive games with under 55 plays called. That's so low.
I did not realize that they are that,
over the last
making their games that quick.
It's crazy. Over the last month, Jordan Love has 0.48 EPA per play because they only run like 47 plays a game. Because they if you just don't run any plays in a game, your EPA per play goes up way high.
Every 2 plays, there's a point. That's crazy.
Okay, that one I really like. Talk to me about Van Jefferson. Talk to me about Van Jefferson, bro.
What? Where do I start? Where do I begin? Old Vanny Van.
23.5 receiving yards lower.
Yeah, I think so. The one thing that I do think is interesting is like just sliding that receptions. I mean, we can do the yardage and just stay on Cardi, but like he's getting like 1, 1, and 2 in the last 3 games respectively. And when he is catching one, it does seem to be for like a long catch. We could do receiving yards. So I just think either way, man, either way you slice it, just play the lower.
I think we play the lower. Now, I actually love this James Cook lower rushing attempts. I don't like the Lions one. I like the James Cook one because he's the starter, but they legit chop and change their backfield 3 ways. Like Ray Davis played 20% of the snaps last week. Ty Johnson plays all the 2-minute drill, all the long down and distance. The way you know how Cook kills you with the rushing attempts, the Ezekiel Elliott, where he takes 3 rushes from the 3-yard line to get in. That's how James Cook kills you.
And that's so like not his game either.
No.
Like that's Josh Allen. Like that's Josh Allen's music.
That's Josh Allen. Yeah. All right. James Cook lower rushing attempts. I gotta be honest, man. I don't love these Caleb Williams hires after what I saw last week, but I don't know, man. Caleb Williams, this dude's frustrating the ever living life out of me, brother. I'm such a true believer in him. And then every time I put my dollars behind it, he then like I had a good team in the SPY last week.
Did you?
I stuck with Caleb Williams Rome. It's like, brother. Could have been Purdy Jennings.
No. Oh, don't even think about that. Don't even.
Yeah, tough.
It's not worth it. Yeah, I have no idea what to do with Caleb.
Let's skip that. Patrick Mahomes lower completions. Got to be honest, probably pretty good. Adam Thielen lower. I would never take it. Adam Thielen is draftable in 6-mans. You heard it here first.
Dude, he is. He absolutely is. I can't do it. I can't.
No.
The Jordan Love lower passing yards is sort of interesting. If he's going to suggest it, like
Jordan Love, these are his passing attempts over the last month of the season. Jordan Love 20, 28, 23, 17 passing attempts the last month.
In Seattle, man, just despite me not wanting to believe it, just a pretty decent defense right now.
No, dude, they're really good. There was a great breakdown on Twitter. I want to say Nate Tice did a great breakdown of what Mike McDonald has been doing, and he's basically just like, dude, I don't blame Kyler for sucking.
Yeah, like it just I can't wrap my head around it, but to me that all checks out into
they're also getting healthy on defense too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm with the lower on Jordan Love passing yards.
Yeah. All right, there we go. That is 4.
I saw our Camaro play.
Camara lower rushing yards.
Yeah, it's well, like we already did that, but it's
we can toss it. We can toss it in again. Let me add these up over on the other tab. We've got Jacobs higher rushing yards and Love lower passing yards. I mean, obviously those are correlated. Jacobs higher rushing yards, Jordan Love lower passing yards, James Cook lower rushing attempts, which is that's close to like a gold star play for me, honestly.
The which one?
James Cook lower rushing attempts.
Yeah.
Getting to take a Van Jefferson lower at 23.5 receiving yards. I mean, that also I also like the 2.5 receptions if you wanted to take that.
No, I would slide that down and do like 1.5 for a little extra juice, but let's just do the receiving yards.
All right, that is 5. Let's keep scrolling here. Let's go down a little bit more.
Yeah, let's see what else.
Brandon Cooks lower receiving yards. You could definitely talk me into that.
He likes the Drake May hires, which
wow,
I love the reason to take
Drake
May.
I was going to say certainly don't need to be talked into that. Drake May hire. Let's do 219.5 passing yards. Get a small little
yeah, right. We're still getting the edge.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We have got Xavier Worthy lower receiving yards. I mean, please no.
You know what's interesting?
Let this be the week.
The Zacchaeus
Mr.
receiving.
Mr. Olamide Zacchaeus.
They so Noah Brown, out for an extended period of time.
I like Ertz better.
We get an edge on Ertz? I'm cool with that.
I think they'll play a bunch of 12 personnel. I think they'll play like
Is it Ben Sinnott season?
I have terrible news. Terrible news. It's Cole Turner season.
Oh no! Behind four from across the.
Behind four and Adam Scherr's boy from last year.
Oh man, never wrong.
Yeah, never wrong. Just early.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's 7.
Okay,
Mr. Ertz. Yeah, Ertz. I feel quite good about actually.
Okay.
I do like the Juju Smith-Schuster lower receiving yards. Tank Dell higher receiving yards. I mean,
oh boy, we're getting permission.
There you go. Sold. Tank Dell. Mr. Dell.
40.5. Yeah.
I mean, that's very low, I feel like, for him. But there we go. All right. We got a 75Xer on that one. Josh Jacobs higher than 73.5 rushing yards. Jordan Love lower than 237.5 passing yards. James Cook lower 12.5 rushing attempts. Van Jefferson lower 23.5 receiving yards. Alvin Kamara lower rushing yards. Drake May small slider up to 219.5 passing yards. Zach Ertz higher 32.5 receiving yards. Tank Dell higher than 40.5 receiving yards with our friends over there on Unabated Sports. The 8-leggers, I mean, what's our calculated edge on this one? It's not even displaying it. It's too high. Too high for it.
Too much edge.
Too much edge, bro. Too much edge.
I love being able to just like see the projection and the comparison there. I mean, it's a very, very user friendly.
Yes, yeah. How is the unabated NBA stuff been treating you guys over at the Badge Brothers?
Pretty well. It's been this past week is it's not Unabated's fault. It's the the NBA schedule has been like pretty frustrating because like I love the NBA Cup and whatnot, but it's been a choppy schedule. It's been a weird schedule, and we got 2 game slates and whatnot. So I just want the normal schedule back. That's really all I want. But we're chugging along and staying afloat.
It's back this week, isn't it?
The cup
tonight is a 6-game slate, isn't it?
Tonight's a normal slate. Tomorrow is the Cup semifinals in Vegas, and from what I saw, the tickets you can go see these games for like $30 because people were hoping for like the Lakers and shit, and it is not. So now nobody. I mean, a testament to these ratings. I can't scroll my timeline without seeing an NBA ratings conversation. I just don't care enough. I don't know. I don't want to slice and dice it.
It's turning into a regional sport like baseball.
That's what I think. I mean,
which is fine. Still gonna do incredible advertising numbers because, I mean, we just saw it again. YouTube TV raises its prices. A bunch of people are going to cancel. The only thing people want is live sports.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do a playoff draft, then get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
Okay, we'll do one playoff draft. Hop in the here. We'll do the Little Gauntlet.
Oh, nice.
I haven't done any of these, so I've got 10 teams in there left to do.
Do you remember you, me, and Warner did the bull your single entry bulldog? Did that thing survive?
No chance, dude. No chance. I mean, I'll look.
I'm sorry for for continuing to press the button on best ball with you, knowing that it's just not something that you want to talk about. But
I mean, dude, buddy, it's literally my job. So of course,
I know, but like I could feel the pain.
I do remember that we did take Jordan Whittington.
Oh, nice. So we got to be advancing.
Yeah. Okay. Drafts. Love. Okay. My friends, you guys at Underdog, you know I love you. I'll literally ride for you guys till I die. We can't do this anymore. We got to go back to the old layout. I can't click from daily to best ball, bro.
Yeah, nope. You're doing it. You're doing it.
No, we didn't.
RIP.
We didn't.
Well, I have a bulldog still pumping, and maybe since you were so kind, maybe I can give you a little 5 when this thing ships because it's sick. Give you a little 5%, just a sneak preview of this team, Davis, and I'm so willingly giving you percentage on Joe Burrow, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, we're sold. We're sold.
One of the only good teams I ever did this year, and trust me, I did a lot.
The smartest thing I did the whole goddamn year was I did a Burrow Chase team in the big dog as a hedge against all the
That's a sick hedge.
The Jefferson. You know what I'm actually realizing also on are you a Hurts guy or a Henry Lamar guy? Which would you rather do?
I don't really love Hurts. I'd rather do either Baltimore or like, dude, I'm telling you, just like take Mahomes here.
Don't have to tell me twice, brother.
Like just feel this out and just notice how clean and easy this team comes together.
It's way better. Yeah, I do this sometimes. Okay. Not with a huge frequency. Yeah. Actually, sometimes I take Mahomes second because then you're set up to take. You could take Devonta Smith at the turn, and then you take Kelsey or Pacheco. And and then you can hammer NFC teams.
Yeah, sometimes you can still get your Pacheco Kelsey with this. So now if we want to do like AJ Brown, or Montgomery, like you have your pick of the litter of these awesome top tier NFC teams.
Let's do AJ Brown.
Yeah, I
think I'm legitimately like overweight on the Lions, actually.
Which isn't like a bad thing, but
Sorry, sus.
What do we do?
What do we do? I didn't realize the Little Gauntlet was 10 entry max.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna max enter this tonight.
Waits no time. That it's a fun one. I think 2 of 6, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 124 final. So a little easier path to the finals. So better chance at a sweat. It's fun. I like the different options here. I hope we get a couple more little mittens. I found a really good way to auto the little mittens last year. I'd like to do that again.
Not me, man. I'm in the trenches. I'm clicking.
I love it.
You see me in a draft, buddy? I'm clicking the buttons.
You're in there. Pacheco sniped.
Kelsey or Jacobs?
I think we gotta pivot and do Jacobs. This guy's doing Ravens. We need to build out a viable Super Bowl team.
Yep.
So now we're Packers maxis.
Well, or I mean, we can be Vikings maxis too, as long as we end up with 4 Chiefs.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think this next one has to be Kelsey. And then if we get fortunate enough to take a
Love,
or even like you said, do Packers and then get Aaron Jones potentially if he's still on the board. That way you give yourself 2 outs, and then just make sure that we get 3 or 4 Chiefs to make this viable.
All right, ship Kelsey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Rams playoff odds, they're plus 150 to win the division now. So it's them versus Seahawks. So the Rams, I like the Buccaneers more than the Rams for fantasy point clicks for round 1 advances. And you got to take me with a grain of salt though, because I'm a Baker boy for life.
Well, they got to worry about, because like Saints are dead, Panthers are dead, Falcons are, they're walking around with one leg and one arm, like they're the closest thing to dead. But I like the Bucks better. But it's definitely not a lock, but especially because the Bucks have a tough game and the Falcons are about to face the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to take Love here? Do you want to take Reed here? What do you want to do?
Love is interesting because but like, who are the backstack AFC teams if we want to do like a third team here? But
I don't think we can. I don't think we can take it. I think we have to build this Chiefs AFC side only.
Okay.
I think.
Let's go Reed, because this guy's building Ravens. He could easily snag.
Yeah, he could snag
Reed.
him.
But my thought was, if we do Jordan Love, like you're live to take any AFC team you want. Like we are locked into Chiefs Packers if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. But if we
could take
Love,
Bills players,
we could take the shitty Bills players, or any
shitty Bills players are kind of the skelly key. Honestly,
it's an interesting discussion, right? Because like if the Bills make the Super Bowl, like are you possibly winning that without Josh Allen if it's not Bills Eagles?
You definitely could if you definitely can win without Josh Allen if it's Bills Lions.
Yeah, I guess that, because the pieces are harder to get through. So that's an option. I like Love there.
Well, the one where you could really easily win without Josh Allen is if it was Eagles Bills.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it would almost have to be Hurts. Like you have to have the Hurts team. But Jordan Love is known to kind of go nuts at times. If you get a 4 passing touchdown Jordan Love game, we're going to have to tell ourselves that story if we want to tack on late Bills or like late Ravens. But this guy, sus, taking Worthy. What's he building out?
Oh, people love this, man. What
okay, he's got Eagles.
He's building Eagles Chiefs. Classic. We don't need Worthy anyway, dude. We're taking DeAndre, or we're taking the real tight end one, Noah Gray, brother.
That's fucking right. That's right. Who do you? So when you're building Packers, right? Jacobs, Jaden Reed. Who's like your third favorite skill position player? Because I have a favorite, and I don't think it's the same as everybody else.
Kraft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see Kraft go like last pick.
Yeah.
A lot, and I'm like, he's like my third favorite skill position guy.
Yeah, it's definitely Kraft, and we can take. So
ADP is meaningless. Like we just gotta
so we have a decision point here. Well, never mind. We don't have it as the other thing we could do is we could take Addison and we could build this to be Hawkinson, and we could build this to be any NFC team. I think we probably take a Packer, but we have to make the decision right now in terms of which
Noah Gray. No, just take Kraft here. Like let's just build our team.
Okay.
Because like just sort by running back for a second here. Like if you want to give us flexibility for Chiefs, like we have to go like Kareem Hunt.
Pirine. I like Pirine. I like Pirine better for Super Bowl stuff. I think by the Super Bowl, Hunt is going to be like 2 rushes a game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to Pirine is who you want, actually.
Okay. Then let's do Pirine. And then with these last 2 picks, if we want to, throw a Hail Mary at another NFC team. We could do whatever
team. Now. Yeah. So we've got our wild card slots filled with Packers and AJ Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
And now we
have our Super Bowl lineup. Yeah.
And we open ourselves up to that Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl. Obviously not ideal. If we want to, double down on it, we could do
Samaj Pirine versus Barkley in the Super Bowl.
Who do you want? Who you got?
Hey man, I'm telling you, dude, crazier things have happened.
You get 8 points from P Ryan in that Super Bowl, and you might find yourself in third or fourth.
I mean, Damian Williams outscored what's his name? Elijah Mitchell in the Super Bowl.
Oh wow. I forgot about that, the Damian Williams game.
Man. Terrible time of year, Nez, getting emails about tax forms as an independent content creator.
Yeah, we just filled out. That was like the most stressful half hour. My wife and I filling out our tax stuff. You're just getting ready for it. Oh God, it gives me my blood pressure just skyrockets.
Just send me to jail, brother. Just take me away.
I'm not doing it.
I'll do a month in prison, Don.
Just don't make me do it.
Sus is he's running over us in this one, man. He did worthy Hollywood. He did worthy Hollywood before we could get there.
I guess he had to, right? Oh, and he takes Kareem Hunt. There you go, dude. Good stuff.
Now, do we want to do another Packer, or do we want to build out 2 NFC teams?
I think Christian Watson.
And then another. Do you want to take Calcaterra or Gainwell?
I think Gainwell maybe.
Gainwell. It would be Gainwell. That gives us a slightly better shot of advancing in round 1. Obviously, in a game where the Packers don't smash, we're kind of actually. You know what? No, we need another Chiefs pass catcher mathematically.
Do we?
Yes, because we can't fill out a lineup in a Chiefs.
Okay.
Samaj Piran is our flex in a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl.
Juju?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay.
We actually, well, it's Juju or Calcaterra.
Probably Juju.
Yeah.
Better chance of just finding himself in the end zone, because that we need that for the AJ Brown Super Bowl if we get there.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. That was
good call. Good save there, because that way it's not just completely meaningless pick.
Yes. There we go. I mean, every time I do one of these, you're faced with some slightly new situation. Like something slightly new where you're like, well, I hadn't considered that. And then if that happens, and then, oh, did I do that right? And maybe I didn't do that right.
I mean, it's tough. Usually you're not fighting over Chiefs like this. Usually people, are not thrilled to take Chiefs if you lock up Mahomes like that. So, we got through for a curveball there and you're 10 max. But overall, though, Chiefs are a really safe way.
You always have to see what the Eagles team does. The Eagles team is always the biggest threat to take them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they can take Calcaterra, makes it a little bit easier for advance rate points. All right, Nez, we're gonna get out of here. Everyone, if you enjoyed that, head on over to unabated.com. There's a link in the description here of this show that you can access some of those tools. And we're gonna get out of here. Make sure that you watch Off and On the Clock later today. And I will be back to do some NFL DFS with Karain and Neil. I think Neil is sick too, so it's gonna be an awesome stream. And we'll see y'all this afternoon.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks